Yeah, I think we should work through this together. Because I was really interested. You've said twice now that you're stuck.
Yeah.
And you're puzzled about what to do. And you've got an idea what this is about.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering, when you say you're stuck,
yeah,
what is it for you? What is it that you feel unable to do?
I think my fear, and I think it's a fear. I think that I am worried that he has protected beliefs, which is absolutely correct, and
Yep.
he has those rights legally under the Equalities Act to have a gender critical belief. I genuinely, I believe that.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
my concern is if I'm not careful enough in how I challenge that,
Right.
that I could be held accountable for discriminating against him.
Okay.
And I think, do you know what, that is probably the nuts and bolts of it, if I'm honest.
Right. And that sounds genuine. I mean, that sounds genuine. You know, when you hear things, sometimes you think that's not really right, but that sounds like a good reason for you to be struggling with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you had situations before? Because I've managed you for a while, but you've had past history. Anytime where that's come up before and you've struggled,
no,
you've not been able to deal with it, or you've
found
it difficult.
I've had it with a social worker who was from Northern Ireland, and the family felt that he was aggressive. He had a very heavy accent. He could be incredibly direct, and he was quite loud because he was his hearing wasn't brilliant. And I did speak to him about that, and he was a bit offended. But what I was trying to say was actually the family had complained, but also external colleagues had complained too, and that helped a little bit because I think he saw then it wasn't me having a pop because he had a Northern Irish accent, but actually it was other people feel that you're a bit aggressive, that you're a bit in their face. And he said, well, that's my culture. And I said, and actually that was, and I was able to really dig into that. Yes, but this is the bit where we need to be that pale grey as social workers, that our cultural bit stays at the door.
Okay. Now you've said that. Can I just step in, because you've said that twice, and I just want to sort of talk about that a bit from your perspective. Okay. I mean, you said we have to leave our culture at the door.
Yeah.
Is that what you do when you go in and see people? You try and leave it all behind?
I do. I think so. I think that sometimes we are more forgiving of things or harder on things depending on our upbringing. So
absolutely.
That's why when I was a front-facing social worker, Jeremy, I would always go out and see hoarders because I grew up with hoarders, so that was fine, and it's never bothered me. Absolutely never bothered me. And I was always the go-to gal. Oh, we've got another order in, Joe. Yeah, I'll do it, no problem. So in some respects, I wasn't necessarily checking my values at the door there. What I was doing was actually, this is okay. Let's get to the trauma here. Let's try and work with you about having a different opportunity with how you're living. So I guess it's, that, but, I would struggle with somebody who was a thief, for example, who stole from another resident.
Yeah.
And I would have to, that's the bit that I would check in at the door. That's the bit where I would not be coming in telling you off because you've been nicking off your mate. So when I guess that's what I'm saying, those value judgmenty, judgy bits, they're the bits that you need to leave at the door.
Right. So, and that makes sense. So that's because it sounded like, and I might be wrong here, it sounded like you were saying you have to just forget everything.
No.
No, you're not saying that. You're saying that it's about effectively what we do with the social graces, being aware of the impact they have on you when you go in.
Yeah.
Okay. So given that, and I'm just thinking about what you've done so far with David, what have you tried? You said you thought you tried to raise it with David, but you've been very careful. What kind of things have you said to him? What kind of discussions have you had?
Well, when he was first allocated Sophie, he did a bit of a eye roll, and I did say, everything all right there, David? Everything all right? And he was a bit like, oh yeah, it's fine. And I thought, okay, maybe I just read that wrong, and I could have done, and so I called that out, and he was like, no, everything's fine. And then I had said to him in supervision, not seeing much writing about Sophie, is everything all right? And he's sort of just fluffed it and changed the subject a little bit. And I think because I've been on the back foot and being anxious, I haven't wanted to push it and then run the risk of grievances and all the rest of it, I guess.
Okay.